Preview of Season 3, Episode 3.
I'm happy to welcome our guest today, Julius Tillery. Can you tell me a bit about how farming was passed down from generation to generation?
Well, my family's from Halifax, Halifax and Northampton County. So, in Halifax County, North Carolina, northeastern part of the state, there's a town called Tillery, North Carolina. My family descended from the Tillery plantation. Most Tillerys, black folks with the last name Tillery, are descendants from Tillery plantation. And my great-great-grandfather, he was born in 1871, so he was the first person in our family born free from slavery. So, and he became a preacher. His name was Reverend D.L. Tillery, and from preaching, that's how he got the money to buy his first plot of land.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm assuming there was some pressure to follow in the footsteps of your father, or of your family, to stay in that, because you went to school for economics and entrepreneurship. And tell me if I'm wrong. Was there pressure to stick with this as the business and carry on your family's tradition, or had you considered jumping out and doing something else?
Actually, it was absolutely no pressure to be a farmer. My grandfather, he didn't really believe farming was for me. My dad, he never really pressed it upon me, besides handling the responsibility of, helping him get the job done. But it was no expectation of me being a farmer. When you're a young student growing up in grade school and you're making straight A's, no one says, "Yo, you're gonna be a great farmer." That's something I never heard. Even I didn't hear that. I don't even know if I've ever heard someone say you're gonna be a great farmer until I created this business. But that was something that you don't hear, that somebody say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a farmer. You're gonna be a good farmer, just like your dad and granddad." You know what I mean? It's more of a just handling the business of our family. So. I just want to do that because, when your family has something, and I worked in agriculture and, the nonprofit scene and the industry scene, helping a lot of people, with their farms. I understand how important it is to have a farmland, because so many people lose their farmland. I see how important it is to them. So I just wanted to do something to make sure that we can keep our family farm sustainable, because farming in general, conventional farming, is very tough. The margins are thin. It's hard labor. It's hard to find labor. Everything's high. I mean, it's hard work. It takes a lot of, intelligence and work ethic to be able to get it done. This is not something you could just push a pen and paper to, or type on a keyboard and make it happen. You have to really be out there to get it done.
I know that cotton was extremely valuable to the economy in the Deep South specifically, and to America as a whole. And that has a lot to do with slavery, of course. And within the cultivation of cotton, specifically during slavery, and then I want to say for at least 100 years afterwards, free Black people were still kind of cultivating cotton. I don't know, is cultivate the right word for cotton? Am I saying it right?
Cultivating, producing, all of it. Yeah, we know what what you're talking about.
Okay, great. So my question is, I know that a lot of Black farmers stepped away from cultivating cotton specifically, and there's a connotation to cotton. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with that connotation and Black cotton, your business as well?
Well, I don't think people got out of farming cotton because of the connotation. I think most people got out of it because the margins were so thin in making money. It's not a lot of money in it. You know what I mean? Like, in regards to the creative process around cotton, I never really seen Black folks be creative with cotton. You know what I mean? I kind of fell into that lane. So in regards to conventional cotton farming, it's just the prices are so low and the money is so, for the work you put into it, people didn't like doing that type of work. And then those areas where cotton exists, there's not a lot of opportunities of doing other things. So a lot of people migrated to places where there are more opportunities. I don't think people said, "Oh, I didn't like that my great grandparents were slaves, so I don't want to raise cotton no more." That's not reality.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And see, what I try to do with Black Cotton is expose people to the realities. Like, we can't keep something if we keep playing in our minds the tropes that really ain't important. You know what I'm saying? I get the history, and history is very important, but we can't forget the present. You know, the presence, because that's the gift. Like, where are we now? To go where we want to go, we have to, you know, have some type of expectations and understanding of where we at and how we got there. And if we think that the standard of what farmers are going through right now was developed through just slavery, you're forgetting you're forgetting over 100 years of history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that happen. Like, when I say I'm a 5th generation farmer, I don't know how many generations Tillerys go back or my bloodline go back, you know, but 5 generations of people were farming, you know, before me after slavery. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of time in between that. So that's a lot of history that we got to give respect to get us to this moment where we're here right now to make the most of this moment.
Black History Mini Docs Podcast.
This podcast is available now on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.